1973 we started the hotel. And of course, there's been a lot of ups, and that time Bangalore was a very different city. It was a very city of very only public sector undertaking, and it was called Pensioners Paradise. So there was no buzz about the city as such. It was a sleepy town, but it was a nice town even at that time. I remember those days. We could walk across anytime. It was a small city. It has a population of 16 lakhs, and now I think it's about 10 times that. And a lot of lakes. Temperatures were very cool. And so that's how I came to Bangalore. And business, was slow to pick up, but it did pick up after some time. And we started doing very well. And then, of course, in 1987, we had a strike in our hotel. We had at that time 2 restaurants on MG Road, and we were taken on. And then we had a bakery in Pina. We used to supply about 10,000 loaves of bread across the city. And then we had outlets, about 5 or 6 outlets across the city where we used to sell our cakes and pastries and all that we used to sell. So we had grown into a fairly sizable business by about 1987. But those days, there was a lot of labor union problems in our city. And the country also used to face a lot of labor. So we had a strike in our hotel, and then of course it was a big challenge for us because due to severe cash crunch, we had to close our restaurants, we had to sell our bakery in Pina to fund our operation of our hotel. But somehow we were fighters, and we said we will not bend down to what the unreasonable demands the workers were making. So we sacked most of the people and ran the hotel. Sometimes we used to serve the customers ourselves. We used to go to the kitchen ourselves to make the food. We brought in some casual people from outside, and a few loyal people stayed back. So where we had about 130 people, we ran the hotel with about 15, 20 people and kept the thing going. So that was a little bit of a challenge. And then by the time we got out of it, we got another shock because the lease of Harsha Hotel expired. And the owner said, I don't want to renew the lease. If you want to buy the hotel, you buy it. Otherwise, I will not be able to renew the lease. So that was again another shock which came to us. But fortunately, we had very good relationship with the Canara Bank, and the chairman used to come to a restaurant. He said, don't worry, I will fund you. I will give you loan to buy the hotel. So he went out of his way and he funded me, and I bought that hotel, which is now called Regenta Place in Shivaji Nagar in Bangalore. We still continue to run it. Then, of course, after that, we got back into business, started collecting money, and then we got a land on lease on the airport road from the government, and that's where we built our Royal Orchid Hotel. And all that money came, a lot of money came from the Harsha Hotel's earnings. Plus, of course, some of the properties which I had built over the years, I sold all of them and put every bit of our saving and money into Royal Orchid Hotel. They said, don't put your eggs in one basket. But we had no choice. If we had to complete the hotel, we had to borrow money as well as put all our eggs in one basket, and we did that. And it was grand opening in 2001. But then there was another shock. And this 9/11 attacks happened, and the business tanked. So it was 2001 itself, the business tanked, and we had a big struggle picking up the business. But things picked up in 2003. Now, 2003, suddenly what happened was the IT boom started. We were lucky. Bangalore was the IT hub, and the demand was very robust. There was shortage of hotel accommodation. We used to do 90% occupancy at rates which are unimaginable, and we did very well. So 5 years, it was a dream run. Say 2003 to 2008 was kind of a dream run for us. In fact, the business was so good that we went for an IPO during that time also. In 2006, we did an IPO, which was 40 times oversubscribed. The market was booming and we were absolutely on what you call cloud nine. But then 2008, the party didn't last too long. There was the Lehman crisis when the markets crashed and everything came down. And there was this Mumbai attacks. Then, of course, the airport, which was very close to our hotel, we got a lot of business because of that, shifted to Devanhalli, which is about 40 kilometers away. So there again, our tough time started again. So 2008 onwards, going has been very tough, but ups and downs. Things have, I'm not saying it's been too bad at all, but a lot of other things, good things which happened, which I'll tell you about it. And now, of course, we are faced with this COVID-19 problem, which I'll tell you how we plan to go about, tackling it. See, first of all, in any business, or any business or any job that you get into it, you must have passion. And you must have perseverance. And in India, at least, you should have a lot of patience. So, like as mentioned to you, we started a hotel, one hotel, took a long time to get the second hotel. Even this hotel we had to put up, we had a lot of court cases, the land government gave to us was full of litigation. So by the time I started the hotel, it took us almost 15 years for the hotel to start from the time I signed the lease with the government. So you have to have a lot of patience. But then I didn't know any other business, and I loved hospitality because it was from my childhood days. I used to work with my father in our restaurant and hotel in Simla. So I loved the business. There's a people's business. There's a never dull moment in this business. So I said, okay, and of course in Bangalore when we came and when IT boom started, a lot of people said, why didn't you start IT business and all that? But neither I had a knowledge of it nor I had a passion of it. I wouldn't enjoy sitting in front of the computer and doing a lot of work and all that, coding and all that. So I think if you have a passion, you should stick to the thing what you have a passion for, and then you will have perseverance and you will really enjoy the work. So this is one piece of advice which I like to give youngsters, that you must have passion, perseverance, and patience. And of course, when the IT boom started, we could hear a lot of people, small startups, and they got huge valuations. And we used to envy those people that, look here, what is really happening? Suddenly, a chap comes, a few people get together, 3 or 4 people leave the company, get together, start a portal, start a website and .com. And suddenly, people are pouring in money, their valuations are going up. Great story. And then they will either sell their company to somebody and then go. I remember Sabir Bhatia, who was a Bangalore boy, sold his company Hotmail to Microsoft at those days for 1,500 crores. And so we're wondering, this is a kind of a thing, which is amazing. And a lot of people made a lot of money out of it. Of course, a lot of people went bust also, but then a lot of money, VC money which came in went down the drain also during the .com bust in those days, but things picked up. But a lot of people started, making companies for the sake of selling it. Yes, they did make money, but now what's happening is that people are looking at even profitability and not just valuation. That how much is your total, what they call gross merchandise value? How much is your sales? Your sales, you have to keep on increasing your sales no matter how much losses you have. The people will keep on funding you. They'll keep on funding you. You've seen a lot of these, various online market players who are continuing to lose money, but they're continuously backed by VCs and funds. And so that the valuation can increase and at one time they will make money. But now what's happened is that people have lost a lot of money and people have realized that yes, unless there is a bottom line also. So all of you who are looking at those kind of business should now tread with a little caution also, because people are going to look at definitely uh, money being made, operating profit also being made at an early stage. Next. See, this is one, coronavirus was one is happening which nobody could have ever imagined. There has been SARS in the past, there have been Ebola in the past, there have been so many other things. We've had, dip, 2008, the market crash, and there's been nothing like this particular, where the whole world has come to a standstill virtually. And there is no right now uncertainty of when and how this will end, because nobody knows the cure. They just have been giving things that, okay, social distancing and everything has been closed. But what are the biggest problem that has happened is, because everything is closed, people are losing their jobs. People are, they don't know where the next meal is going to come back. Companies are all closed. Companies don't know when their coffers are empty. They don't know how they're going to be paying the next salaries. The government has not yet come up with any good package for the hospitality industry, although they say that they will come along with something, but it has not yet happened. So there is a lot of issues which are happening across the country because of this coronavirus, and we don't know how contagious it is. People say yes, by just coming near a person, you will catch it. Um, and the number of deaths which are there, particularly in our country. But we must be really proud, you see, of our country, that our country has uh, at least tackled coronavirus much better than so many other people across the country. And so developed countries, Europe is in a total mess. Look at America, the superpower. They are in a total mess. I've been speaking to my relatives in the US, and they said these guys have totally messed it up. So I think to that extent, there's a positive that our country is probably less affected. Of course, our country's got poverty levels also there, but I think we should be able to come out of it. So we are all working towards how to get out of this particular issue, and how to plan for the future. Because just like after, there'll be new ways of doing business. You see, after the Bombay attacks and all that, there are a lot of safeguards were put up, like baggage scanner, undercar scanners, DFMD scanners for people going in and going out, because there were a lot of fear that there would be a terrorist attacks in the country. So I think all of us geared up to security at the airport. It was never like this before. I remember when I came to Bangalore, there was nothing like security at all. You could just walk into the airport, walk to the aircraft, walk out, and there was nothing like that. But security has been tightened everywhere. You can see BSF and UFC, all of country, everywhere. There's some bomb blast, something or the other, which is really happening. So I would say that there's a new way of doing business that started at that time. Now there's another phase. Another new way of business will start, which means that we'll have to look at ways of, first of all, in our business, telling people that yes, it is a very, very sterile kind of environment that we are providing you. So that means first starting with the workers. That means whether they're hand washing, they're providing them masks, providing them gloves, disinfecting every single thing. So we are looking at various, ways of, luckily the hotels are all closed right now, but we are scanning the world market to see, like they are talking about disinfecting tunnels to be brought in. We're talking of ultraviolet rays, which will kill germs in our hotel rooms. We are seeing how we're going to be doing social distancing in restaurants. So there'll be alternate tables which will be occupied by people. And we're trying to see whether in conferences, how suppose a conference hall has a capacity of 80 people, now we'll be able to accommodate only 40 people. And instead of serving tea at, in tea interval where people mix around and talk, tea will be probably kept in flasks on their tables, and people will have tea at that time. And at lunch also, we'll be providing maybe pre-prepared food there, which they can pick up and eat. So there will be a lot of changes in the way we do business. There will be for the guests, as I mentioned, and also for this thing. Then the other challenge is going to be how you're going to get the business. People have been talking about, okay, unless they say 3rd May, the lockdown will be lifted. But it'll be lifted, I think, in certain phases. It was great news that Air India started bookings, but then suddenly they announced that no, there are no bookings. They're told to hold on till next month end. So unless people are able to fly, I don't think there'll be any business pickup for most of the businesses will find difficult to pick up unless people are able to travel by bus, travel by this thing. So again, in buses, they're saying that they will allow 50% capacity. In cars, they'll allow one person to sit in the front, one person to sit at the back. How they're going to monitor it across the country, it's again another nightmare. So I think there'll be a lot of responsible behavior which will have to be required by the citizens. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who, take pride in actually, flouting rules in our country. But I think the time has changed. I think we should learn. And just like we are teaching the world today, something again to be proud of, to say namaste and not handshake. And, we taught the world yoga some time back. So I think we're going to teach the world a lot of new things. They will learn from us how to really handle crises. How many people are volunteered today to how much food packets is being distributed. If you see the size of our country, and the problem that has been, and the way people are volunteering to help, whether they provide, even hotels like ours, which are closed, but we are giving time wherever it is possible. We're giving food packets to poor people in the city. Like in our area, we're giving food packets to these sweepers of the corporation and the police personnel in this area. We're giving them food packets. And then, so in various cities, most of our hotels are providing them food packets. But once things really change, I think there'll be a new way of doing business in our country, which all of us will have to really adopt. Next. So what we are doing today is, as I said, new way of doing business is to cut staff costs. We used to have a lot of people who used to be what they call contract labor, who used to do the basic jobs of cleaning in the kitchen, cutting vegetables, in washing utensils, and it's a large number of people which we have dispensed with. And we've also actually cut down a lot of manpower who were on probation. And so we had a lot of we have done the cost. But now once we open, there has to be some new way of doing things, So what we did was we started, now through the Zoom calls and all that, our college of hotel management has come into handy, and we started multi-skilling. So what means that people who are doing front office job are being trained to do housekeeping, and they've been trained to do F&B service also. Similarly, all the three departments are being trained in all the three departments, which should never happen. We wanted to do this multi-skilling because that is what in foreign countries, they work on a very, very tight staff ratio, which we have never been able to do because our people are used to doing only one job. If a receptionist is there, he'll do only the job of a receptionist. Now, abroad, I've seen after the restaurant, when there's free time in between at the reception desk, he will take up a broom and, and he will, or a vacuum cleaner, and he'll clean the lobby and come back to the desk. Or he'll help in the bar during his lean hours. Whereas this was a lot of reluctance of our people. Culturally also, we're not used to, we said, okay, 8 hours, we're supposed to do only one job, we'll do, and that's it, But now I think that thing is going to change entirely. So we are going to be, operating our hotels. We have told our hotels that to work on 50% of the staff strength. Of course, it may not ideally be possible. Okay, eventually we may go to about 60%, but our wage bill, we are targeting to reduce it by 50%. So another thing what we are doing is we are doing what they call a management development program, where what we are doing is we are trying to train all our head of departments to become general managers. So this program already started, is underway, and through Zoom calls, people are logging in, and we've identified across our hotels about 25 to 30 people who will be trained to become general managers. So when we are expanding now our hotels, we are going to be putting these guys, first of all, is give them an opportunity to become general manager faster. So we'll fast track them into general manager. Secondly, the new hotels will get general managers at a much lower cost than what they will get in the market. Thirdly, that these people would know the culture of our company. So they will know how to really carry forward the ethos of our company, the culture of our company to the new hotel that we are planning to do. We are presently 60 hotels, and we are planning to add another 40 hotels in the next 2 years. So our target is to reach about 100 hotels in 2 years' time. So we are preparing for that. We are not losing heart. Well, these things happen. It is a tough time. I know it is tough for us, but it's tough for a lot of other people also who are losing their near and dear ones. Their lives are being lost, and who are these things. So we are working towards that. Other operating costs also, we are trying to optimize that. How do you really, in each department, besides labor cost, how do you, about electricity cost, how do you maintain maybe air conditioning cost, repair and maintenance cost. So all costs we are going to do. So our target is that our fixed costs, which used to be said, fixed costs of hotel, including staff, including, our repair and maintenance, electricity, water, utilities, all those things. We had a total fixed cost. Suppose we had X fixed cost. We are telling people that they should reduce it to 50%. In any case, hotels are going to operate for the next few months at suboptimal levels. So you don't need that many people in any case. So we will be operating at 50% of the fixed costs that we have got. Besides, then we'll try to, keep it at that, or maybe go up to 60, 70% when we reach peak occupancies and all that, which we hopefully, hopefully we will do probably by the end of the year. I'm an optimist. I think, there's no doomsday scenario. I think situation should definitely bounce back, particularly in our country. I'll give you a small example. In Bangalore, some of you are from Bangalore, you'll understand that There was a bomb blast next to Forum Mall a few years back. And, in the evening time, peak hour, and, of course, a small bomb, not very big, and so not much of casualties. Uh, but within 3 hours, it was like business as usual, as if people walking around the street, that street as if nothing has happened. So I think, things people will forget. Um, you know, uh, Absolutely, people will forget what has really happened here very soon. India will bounce back much faster than so many other countries. Because one is that we have got a younger population, because so people are less affected because of that. And younger population have got more willpower, more bouncing power, and more raring to go attitude. So I think that is also going to make our country bounce back definitely. Next. So we have to see what lies ahead of us. I think things are, a lot of things are really going to be, uh, uh, we are definitely going to be facing definitely rough times because, as I said, that uh, when the airlines start opening right now, we used to get a lot of business from Europe. Now, Europe economy itself is in tatters right now. So the getting business, and by the time people are allowed to travel from abroad to our country will take some time. uh, US is severely battered. Our city is full of American companies who used to come here in herds, and they used to give us a lot of business. So there again, we are finding that they will have a they will reduce. And what has happened is the last uh, 1 month or so, we all have got used to doing a lot of work on video conferencing. I could have never imagined, because I'm not a techie myself. I've never imagined that I could do so much work in this last 1 month. What we did was last 1 month, because besides this training, we did a lot of work which we could not do in the past. Like setting up a standard operating procedures, setting up of our databases, cleaning up all our databases of our clients. We did all that. So we have done a lot of housekeeping work, which we were never able to do. We are contacting a lot of people for joining our group, which earlier was very difficult. Now people are sitting at home. If you give him a call, he's ready to talk to you, and he's not in a hurry. He discusses what's going to happen. So we give him a patient hearing, and we are able to, like last night, there was a guy who was talking to from Rishikesh, who we had in talks for running his hotel. And the guy was in a mood. He was talking to me for almost 1.5 hours. Ultimately, I had to somehow tell him, yes, I need to go for my dinner and all that. So he was not in a hurry to talk. So today people are listening to you. So that's a positive side of it, that people are ready to listen to you, and staff is ready to listen to you, owners are ready to listen to you. And it's time to think out of the box. Okay, how we are going to do business in the new way that we're going to do. So I think with these words, I would say that, the other positive which I just wanted to mention to you is that in India, a lot of, people who are going, traveling abroad, you would see that people go to Bangkok at a drop of a hat. People will go to Europe, as that's going to stop for some time. I think an Indian tourist destinations are going to be packed. Particularly the moment we get out of this, gloom, probably October onwards, all our Indian holiday destinations are going to be full, and we're going to make some good money out of that. So I think these things are definitely going to be much better for us. So now I'll open it to question and answers. If any questions are there, you're welcome to please ask.
So before I open the floor open, there's a compliment from Chaya Nanjapa to you, sir. She says, sir, you are a true inspiration and a wonderful human being. Very few walk there, talk like you do. It's a compliment from Chaya, sir, Chaya Nanjapa.
No, thank you, Chaya. I really admire your entrepreneurial spirit also, and you are in fact an inspiration for all of us.
And there's a question from Nakul Chengappa, sir. You're
Yes.
truly an inspiration. My question is, how would one proactively manage the key stakeholders like suppliers, funders, project developers, and contractors to manage expectations and maintain confidence during the ongoing COVID-19 crisis?
See, what's happening is that managing suppliers is going to be a big challenge because we have debtors and we have creditors. Now, that is usually balanced. We get money from our debtors, we pay our creditors. So we have a ratio, all hotels have a certain ratio, they manage that, and usually we try to keep it 1:1. But unless the money starts flowing in from the business, as well as flowing in from the various debtors, our payment to creditors will be very much of a challenge. So they also understand, and also they will that yes, we'll of course we won't place very large orders with them. We'll ask them to supply us only what is strictly necessary. Our stocks are low. We will try to maintain with minimum amount of stock. So that way we'll get better in our inventory management also. Like abroad in Japan, they have got, what they call last minute, they don't have, they're just in time. So if they need some items to be delivered at a, X amount of time, then they deliver in time, they don't stock item. So I think we'll have to probably adopt some kind of a system like that also, so that their supplies also to a smaller extent and we can pay them also. So that is how we'll do as far as the suppliers are concerned. And we will of course request our, debtors to pay us money. We can't pressurize them because they also will be under strain. But we will request them to at least give us some small amounts. We will request them to take a little, we give them 1 month credit. We'll request them, we can only request them, we can't do anything, that please give us business, give us payment in 15 days because we need your support at this time. And of course, there are a lot of corporate which are doing well also, and I'm sure they will come to our rescue.
There's a question from Mr. G.U. Hude, sir. What is the criteria for selection of candidates for skill development training and location?
See, I'll tell you, we have got, this is provided, this is a CSR initiative. So anybody who can read and write English, and if he's even 10th class failure, and because what happens is that people who fail in the 10th class are finishing, reach a dead end, and they don't know what to do. They don't have money, and they cannot afford to even go for a longer term course. So what happens is that here we will, we take people. In fact, that is one thing which all of you are listening, you should tell us, and you should send candidates to us. And there is no fee for this course. We enroll them and we are teaching them online. The course is conducted online. That means if they are working somewhere as even casual labor or something like that, they can enroll on the course and they'll take one chapter per week they take. And at the end of the week, our college conducts a program on a Zoom kind of a classroom platform where they have interactive session. Because if he has any, questions, he can ask the people. Of course, in Bangalore, we can have the courses at our premises also. We have about 4 centers in Bangalore, and we have got one center in Hospet, and we got one center in Simla, which is our hometown. So we got 5 operating centers right now. So people can come there, and where there's a good, video conferencing facility available there, so they can come there, and our faculty from here will keep on talking to them. And if anybody has to apply to this, I think please note this down. Uh, the principal of our college is Chapel Amlan, 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 at Royal Orchid Hotels, ROYALORCHIDHOTELS.com. So he is the principal of our college, and yes, Amlan. I think I think it has to be small a, Chirag. I think just check that up. Put that right. So I think everybody can write to him. In fact, we will consider it as a great service you guys will do to us by sponsoring candidates. And after the 3-month course is over, we train them in our hotels across the country. Don't have to limit to Bangalore. Can be anywhere in the country. We'll train them up in our thing, and we'll provide them jobs. We will provide them suitable candidates, and provide them jobs. And in fact, our experience has been today that we are not able to get people, enough candidates for us. And people who are passing out, they are getting so many jobs across the city with, say, KFC, Pizza Hut, and all these things who are paying more than what we are paying. So jobs are not a criteria. So I think everybody can do their bit in helping us in recruiting candidates.
So there is a HR related question from Mr. Chengappa. What should be the focus on HR, talent and communications, on providing clarity for your employees and on maintaining engagement and morale during these difficult times?
Yes, maintaining morale and all that is, as I mentioned to you, that if they see the light at the end of the tunnel, that's why we started this course of, multi-skilling. That, okay, think that it's a sabbatical, and you're not getting, your full salary or so, it's a sabbatical. And, you are retraining yourself, you're reskilling yourself for a better future. So I think that should be that's why we did that across okay, don't lose heart. World has not come to an end. Yes, there is a 2-3 months hardship, but all of us are facing hardship. We are there with you in facing hardship. I myself have taken a salary cut, and I'm not going to draw the salary also. I've taken a 50% cut, but I'm not going to draw even a single paisa unless there is money paid to all the staff members also. So I think, that's a kind of, and all our senior team members have done a similar kind of a thing that, okay, we are going to take a bigger hit, but all of you are, and of course, we also mentioned that people who have got some medical emergency, some dire circumstances and all that. So we have a corpus under the name of Baljee Foundation. We created a trust where we do a lot of CSR work. We do. So what we said that in case anybody has an emergency, he writes to us and then we try to help him out, any of our staff members, out of a grant out of that, Suppose somebody's got an ailment, which is very expensive and he has to undergo that and he's beyond ESI, he's not covered with ESI. So we have people who are covered by actually insurance or who are beyond ESI. We have a Star Insurance, Star Health. We are covering them with that. But even if it's beyond that, if he needs some help or something for his kith and kin, for his child or whatever it is, we are ready to help him out.
There's a question from Mr. Suresh, sir. With talent-based erosion happening, retrenchment all around, even as you mentioned during your presentation, cutting costs by reducing manpower, multitasking and all those things, will there be loyalty shocks for the years to come?
See, yes, temporarily, yes. There will be people who will be feeling that, now today, you can see so many companies when they downsize, the companies has had a problem. So this has become a part of the system. But, the moment the economy starts picking up, and I have a feeling, I think all of you, please, I hope all of you share my opinion also, that I think by August or so, things would return to normal and business will start picking up. And by, I think, October, everything should be everything should be under the new normal, and people will be raring to go. Employment will come back, and things will be absolutely okay. So I think we should definitely look at yes, we all have to work harder in our jobs now. We can't take it that lightly. What some of us do, we have to work harder. We have to work smarter. Actually, I would say a lot of people. I tell all our salespeople today. Now, I give a small example. Our salespeople are used to, take a bag in the morning, go out to the 4 or 5 clients you actually, meet and come back in the evening and make a report, and that's why I go home. So we are training them up that how do you now they've been doing telecallings. So we've been trying to tell them how do you really do a telecall. So if you do a telecall or you do a video call, you will be able to do, instead of 5 calls, you'll be able to do 15 calls in a day. So your productivity will go up to maybe at least twice. So we're training them up to that. And of course, we are monitoring people. We have a thing called salesforce.com. So which they log in, whatever calls they've done, and we're telling them to be now more methodical in their work. Not the same old style which we've been doing for the last so many years. They have to change the way they have to, as I said, the new way of doing business. How do you give something more to the organization than what you're giving it in the past? And that's the only way they'll also, the organization will have to give back to them. So it's both way, two-way street. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. I will do more work than what I was doing. I will produce more than what I was doing earlier, right? Then the company will become profitable and company will pay back to you, right? So I think this is what should be the mantra for future.
So Sandhya has a question. Now that the hospitality industry is down and expecting that it's not going to pick up late this year or even next year, what do you suggest for other entrepreneurs like me who are serving the hotel industry as a vendor? Should we at the moment just divert the business momentarily and then get back to the old one, or wait?
See, I would say we have to look at all options. Don't just wait, because I'm not an astrologer to predict that by October things will become all right. Something else may happen. We really don't know. So I would say that everybody should explore more things to do. For example, in our hotels also, what we did was, you won't believe it, the last 1 year we've been wanting to do food deliveries, and it not happened. Every time they say, no, sir, we are very busy, sir, we'll do it, sir. I say, all you to do it, make some parcel, make a menu, put it on to Swiggy and Zomato, and they will start picking up and they'll sell the food. But believe me, none of our hotels did it, right? Now, it has happened that last month, one of our hotels started in Royal Orchid Central in Bangalore on MG Road. They started food delivery. And believe me, they have started doing very well. In fact, so we are telling all our hotels that, look here, you should start doing food wherever it's possible. If you have a resort hotel, I don't think they can do food delivery. So they are now finding that this could be a source of some business. So we all have to explore some new avenues of doing business. So we cannot just say that, no, this is what we were doing in the past. Now we have to do this thing in the future. Our Royal Orchid Hotel, a flagship hotel in Bangalore, is never do outdoor catering, because they were so busy in doing their own work, also banquets, and it's a 200-room hotel. So they were all very busy. But now they'll think that, okay, why not outdoor catering? Why not food delivery? So we have to see, no matter, yes, margins may be small, but a penny, every penny counts. So this is what is important. You'll have to start looking at that. Explore all possibilities. Don't say that, no, wait till the hospital. You have to explore other places where you can supply your material. And even if you take some hit in the margins, take it in better. Look to volume route. Suppose we've been looking at the, high margin kind of thing. We may today have to change the business upside down to look at large volumes and low this thing. Example, one of our hotels, we gave for quarantine patients. Now the rate they gave us was so low that we were thinking what to do. Should we do it or should we not do it? But then we just quickly looked at the decision. We got onto a con call and we said, "Bhai, isko kuch le lo, kuch to aa raha hai na. Something is coming. Let us take it. As long as we are not going out of pocket." So I would say, in fact, with the minimal cost, whatever it is, that hotel is going to this month probably make money what it was not making in the past.
Sir, a similar question. I mean, how important is it to put in place a revenue management system and different pricing models to respond to the current market developments quickly?
See, this is exactly what I was saying. Revenue management is basically you are trying to see that if you have got some vacant capacity and it's going to, because a room in a hotel is a very perishable product. I mean, it can't be sold the next day. It's gone for that night. Just like seat in an airplane or so, it's a very perishable commodity. So if that day you can get something out of it, which is more than your cost, if your incremental cost of that particular room servicing is say 500 rupees, your electricity, your linen, your soap, your towel, and all that is 500 rupees. And if you're getting 600 rupees, it's worth it. Of course, there's another theory behind it also, is that how much can you dilute your brand also. So what we are doing is that we are saying that, okay, Royal Orchid Hotel Bangalore will maybe do, say, 3,000 rupees, come down from 5,000 to 3,000 rupees, Central from 3,500 rupees to 2,500 rupees. That's the bottom. So revenue management is a very important thing. It's a concept which a lot of people have ignored, a lot of people have not understood, but it's very important. Like you are booking an airline ticket and by the time you click, yes, I want to think, the rate has gone up because somebody else has grabbed that seat. So I think revenue management is important, and people, this is one area where I stress that a lot of people should learn revenue management. We have started a revenue management program also for our people, that they should learn revenue management, because this is a topic which has come over the last few years only, and not many people are trained in it.
There is a question from Mr. Girish Gumaste, sir. We are from MSME. Basically, what he's asking is that fiscal years 19 and 20 were very, very difficult because of the slowdown and lockdown. We have very hard days ahead. What is your suggestion?
See, hard days, you have to always, as I mentioned to you all along, that you will have to tighten your belt. You have to find new ways of doing whichever business you want to do. Find new ways of doing. Try to find markets. I know a friend of mine who making alcohol. Okay, now alcohol business is stopped because they're not selling alcohol. They're making whiskey and all that. Now they started making sanitizers right now, because they quickly got hold of this. They found that they have alcohol lying with them, spirits lying with them. Only thing they have to do is they have to add that, a few chemicals, and they got hold of these bottles, and they started, marketing sanitizers. So it's a very low margin, and then distribution is a problem. How do you really distribute? You can manufacture in some part of the country. How do you distribute it? But then we are finding various ways. You have to think. Just keep on, do a brainstorming session in your this thing. Let people come up with wildest of wild ideas, no matter how stupid those ideas are. I would say sometimes the stupid idea is something which will really make money. So encourage your people to come up with ideas. How stupid it is, let them not hesitate, because a lot of staff members hesitate to come with the ideas because they'll be laughed at, right? Does not matter, right? Let it be an entertainment session. But let them come up with their ideas, and let us, like for example, shampoos. Shampoos were all being sold in bottles all along. And somebody came up with an idea that if we sell it in sachets, the market will go up. So, that sachet of 2 rupees, 1 rupee, gutka and pan masala in packets and sachets. So you have to start thinking of a new way of doing, new way of selling.
The floor is open. Please ask questions.
Sir, Baljee sir, am I audible, sir? This is
Yeah,
Vruksham Suresh, sir. Sir, this is Vruksham Suresh, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you're audible. Tell me.
Okay, presentation was awesome, sir. It was in a different Midas touch. In a World Hindu Economic Forum the other day with Swamiji, you gave a different presentation. And here again, I'm seeing Chirag on a different presentation. Sir, my question is, as I had asked across, the loyalty shocks, what I meant was, will the loyal employees now, all of them are on their way out? Most of them, at least. That was my question, sir.
See, I know loyalty is definitely it is heartbreaking for you to let a person who's been there with you for a long time, to let him go. But then, this is the hard realities of business. There's sentiment and then there's hard business reality. So you have to, at this stage, yes, amongst all the people, you'll be selective, and you'll have to let certain people go. You have to put your, as I mentioned to you, what we are doing is we're giving people some time, some stipend, even if they ask to go, give them some sustenance allowance, may not be very much, maybe 25% of the salary for the next 3 months for you to settle down. So I think, we have to be in business. Unfortunately, it's not only sentiments. You have to look at your bottom line also. Can you afford it or not? It's important. Yes, if you have got another business which can support this, fine, to some extent you can do that. But in the long run, no loyalty pays, and employee is loyal to you as long as he doesn't get a better opportunity elsewhere. The moment he gets a better opportunity elsewhere, he will put in his papers and go. Okay, the days of those sentimentality and all that is gone. We used to have people working for years together with us. Now we'll be lucky if somebody works with us for over 2 years. So, they're all looking at the next possible opportunity and they will go.
Hi, sir.
Yes.
My name is Namrata. I'm really inspired with the talk which you have given, sir. I'm sure you've undergone so many situations in your life where there's quite a lot of lessons which we learn. So my question, we basically are into housekeeping material supplies to the companies. I just wanted to find out how are the activities happening despite the lockdown across industries and across locations.
Yes, you see, housekeeping, as I mentioned to you in the beginning of my presentation itself, that because if the hotels are closed, we have dispensed with all the staff who is doing who are the contractors who were doing cleaning and all that. We dispensed with all of them. And of course, they will also be probably dispensing with the people and they have to fend for themselves. It is a hard, but now this is a time when we can retrain our people to, the new norm of how do you use new chemicals, how do you use maybe ultraviolet rays, how do you really new hygiene method. And if you are into service providing and all that, look into the new chemicals that are required. Now today what we've done is we told all our people last week that please find chemicals which will be, killing virus besides bacteria. See, virus is very different, more advanced than bacteria. So we have to look at chemicals who will do that. It's not only soap solution will help today. It won't. So are you able to get that, source that and supply that material? Is your people trained to do that? Because you can't put a toxic material into something which will harm even the human being. So it has to be safety standards. So we are telling our people to find new ways of maintaining hygiene in our hotels. And I think we should be coming out with the SOPs probably by the end of this week. So which means that when people come into the hotel, they'll have gloves, they'll have masks. What kind of masks? What we started doing was, we have a lot of old linen, bed linen and all that. we put our tailors on the job that go and please make masks out of that. So it will be one thing, will give them some employment. And secondly, we'll be using our old linen, which in any case used to either throw it away and sell it off. So we are doing that. And we could have never thought of it earlier. So, and then we used to not use masks even in our kitchen also. We used to never use masks really. But I think now the way to do things is let everybody wear a mask, let every mask be laundered on a everyday basis. So, we need to start looking at, and today a lot of information is available on the net to do things in a newer.
Please go ahead, sir. Yeah, we can take one last question before we close.
Good evening, sir. This is Nakul Changapa again. Thank you for taking out this time to talk to all of us. It was really motivating, and you're
Please
quite
stick
an
to your question,
inspiration.
please.
Yes. Sir, could you please tell me how OTAs are likely to respond to the current crisis?
See, we are in touch with OTAs. In fact, we had a call with the CEO of Make My Trip yesterday. And they are also gearing up for new ways of doing things. And promoting the holiday destinations, which are, Indian holiday destination, giving them some advance, low rates at the moment. So we said that, okay, we should probably announce a sale, airline type of a sale, that you can go on a holiday in the Sarah time in maybe Missouri at a rate of maybe 1,900 rupees per night, which is normal would have been 6,000 rupees. And this question of revenue management comes up. Maybe 25 or 30% of the rooms will be sold at that time. But this will at least stir up the market, start making people think. So I think they are equally worried because their business is dependent on that. So they are also coming up with newer and newer strategies. And I think all of them will probably in the next 1 week or 10 days time, everybody will reach out to all hotels that come and participate in this scheme and participate in that scheme, because they're going to also earn revenue out of it. So I think they are also equally worried, and like we are. And I think if you have any suggestions also, please welcome to send it to me also. We'll be happy to be part of it. Or you can send it to Chirag. Chirag, you can put in your email ID, flash it to everybody so that they can send you your suggestions. Please, I think at this time we should any suggestions welcome. It's not that because I'm running X number of hotels, I know more than all of you. You all youngsters, we are all dated people now. So you may have some newer ideas, some brighter ideas for this, Okay?
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot very much, sir.
Just one last question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes.
So just wanted to find out, is there an opportunity for the startups who are into housekeeping supplies or something like that? Any help if you could just provide where we can understand the proportions of chemicals or how to do it, how to use it, where we can understand it much better, some short-term courses or something like that?
Of course, you could write to Amlan, as I mentioned, he's our college principal. And I will also, Chirag, you also put in a word that here's an entrepreneur who's wanting to try out new things. And we'll also talk to our housekeeping team and ask them what is the new requirement. And we'll be really happy to help you out. So it's been such a pleasure to talk to all of you. And, in fact, this is what this is a small time which I feel is the best time I've had during this almost 1 month. So great to talk to you and great to connect with you, and wish you all the best to come out of this crisis as early as possible.
Thank you very much, sir. In fact, we are so lucky to have you today. In fact, there's a lot of inputs which you have shared to us. I'm sure all my members will be very happy about this. Mr. Bojraj, please come in.
Namaste, Shri Chanderji. Really, thank you. It was a lot of inspiring us and motivating us also. from Lagu Udyog Bharati Karnataka. We thank you very much. You have spared your valuable time to our members and our fraternity. Thank you very much, sir. We will definitely
Thank
will
you.
touch with you. And thanks to my sister Srimati Chaya Nanjappa. She only connected you to our Lagu Udyog Bharati. Really thank her also at this moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.